right? So we are in the step number 4 here, and installing and checking the Conda modules. So we start installing all the dependencies, and this may take some time. So I'm going to stop the video right now and resume with this procedure finish. Okay, so now we have finished the process installing R, and then we got this message and explain then we finished the step number 5. If we come back to the slides, I forgot to mention that at the bottom of this slide, we can see the 2 messages that we must see after we get the successful installation. The first one is for the back end, and the second one is for the front end. So as we run this, we took maybe 30 minutes to get everything installed, and we can see the history of the process here. Now we have a message that say, if you want to customize your files, you can go and edit this document. To do that, you can copy and paste this command line here. Those are parameters. And those parameters are, where is my data path, my folder located for storing all the CoLa results, how many cores I'm assigning to CoLa, how many megabytes I can allow to the front end to upload external files, and the number of pixels. We'll cover that into the following steps. Now we finish this line of code, that is installation of the backend, and here it says please restart R to update the new settings. So we're going to do that. Also, we have a warning that says that there's no package called reticulate. That's a warning from the very first steps. We can ignore them because now we know that the reticulate was installed. Otherwise, it will not be possible to get until this point. So I'm going to go to session and restart R. After restarting R, we need to again load the CoLa library. Let's see if there's working. Yes. So I'm going to load library column, and I will run the second one. What if we run the first installation again? Is harmless. Our CoLa detect what elements are installed, what are missing, and if there's or working and they're installed, they will just skip those steps. So right now, in order to gain some time, I'm going to install the front end, and let's see how much time it takes. So in the meantime, some of you might face issues with the installation. For that, and let me jump to the next slide here. We should have this kind of messages print on the console, is what we had already. But if there's errors or something, just run the function again. It's harmless. There's another function, is called diagnose CoLa, and you can run if something that is not working in your system and you don't see the final message, you can use diagnose CoLa and it will tell you where is the problem. And when you identify the problem is installing reticulate, Conda, CoLa, Conda environment, or the libraries, you will point which element you need to take a look at. And now in the known issues, you can go and refer to that specific problem. So again, if we scroll up, we can see that there's 6 steps: installing the R package, installing reticulate, installing miliconda, the Conda environment, or the CoLa Conda environment, or the CoLa package. So here we scroll down, we can start finding what are the problems and possible solutions. So whenever we reach a new step, CoLa tells you what is the expected behavior. For example, if we run reticulate conda list, we should list all the existing conda environments. And maybe you may face some issues, and here we have documented the problem. If you, for example, have problems installing your CoLa conda environment, which should looks like this, you can go here and see if any of these problems adapts or describes your current situation, and so on. So also you have a solution for Conda environment packages. There's tutorials for that. Some of them are easy, some of them are quite complex, but in all of the cases we have found tutorials or examples of other people that have solved the problem. Now, in the meantime, we are going to see, now we are installing the second part, that is the front end, and the front end requires a lot of R packages. Here in this diagram, I close it, we have at least maybe 20 packages that we need to install. So R at this point is try to install all of them and installing. So this process may take a couple minutes. We start 35, I think. So I'm going to resume this video whenever that finish. At this point, so far we have no errors. I hope it's your case. I finished the process here, and we have this message. All libraries required for CoLa DSS are installed. We have some warnings. They are okay. There's no errors. Now, I would like to run again the installation line of code that combines all the process at once. And I want to show you that even when we are running everything again, CoLa will not repeat the processes and just skip the things that are already done. So it's going quite fast at this point. It's trying to investigate what is installed already, and what is going on. We are covering the steps. So we check that reticulate package exists, that the miniconda exists, that the conda environment called CoLa exists, and now we are checking the modules. All the required modules are installed, and now the final step is checking that R is communicating with Python correctly. For this, we are running in the backend one of the functions, and we also install the extra step. Perfect. So everything is installed in my computer, so all the installation is done. Now let me run the CoLa diagnose to show you how that function can help us to let me paste it here in the top. So the diagnose will evaluate all the steps and see what is missing. At this point, as we get the messages that everything is installed, probably we will not detect any problems. But if you have any particular problem, this function will point in which step you are not having all the conditions. Okay, we have the software installed at this point. Let's restart. And before that, I want to explain you about these parameters here. So here, when you run this line of code, when you can edit your parameters, there's one specific variable that I would like to point. Whenever we run something in CoLa, the computer needs to store the results somewhere. So let me invite you to create this path. In my case, it will be C temp CoLa, temp or temp R, is up to you, CoLa. And please finish with the second same quotes. I will increase the number of cores to 4. That's the number of cores that we can allocate for CoLa perform the backend procedure. What is the maximum size allowed to the decision support system, the front end, to upload files? As is this your own computer, feel free to change it. We have a specific value for the web version of this. And because the map, the decision, the DSS have a specific map, we don't want too many of the resources are allocated to plot the raster. So we are going to use how many pixels can we manage before resampling the raster. In this case, we have 1 million as a value, and that million says that if there's a raster that we want to plot and it's over 1 million pixels, we need to resample that high resolution raster into a new raster, and the new raster should be 1000 columns by 1000 rows. That raster is only for visualization purposes. Here we have the vis prefix. So a very heavy raster is going to be resampled for these rows and these columns, in this case 1000 and 1000. That will not affect the actual raster. The actual output is only for visualizing it. Now that we have everything installed, let me go to these first two lines. So the first two lines are CoLa Python path. This is where the CoLa Python exists. So this is the Python that we are using to run CoLa. You should not modify this. We automatically detect that. And the second line is CoLa scripts path, is where the CoLa scripts are allocated. So right now are inside the CoLa R package. So please don't modify those. This is only for very advanced users that are familiar with Conda, with Python. So you please don't modify those scripts. The script itself, find them and storage them in a way that we don't need to worry about them. Let's move on. We can investigate those parameters by running these lines of code. Now that I now that I create this folder, I will go to my computer and I will create that path. So I'm going to go to C, I will create a new folder. It's called temp R. You can just call it CoLa if you want. Actually, I will do that like that, CoLa, and I will say CoLa here. So all my results will be stored in CoLa. I will close this. And whenever you want to check what are your parameters, where your folder, you can just paste those instructions, and you can see here where your Python path, your script paths, your CoLa data path. Now you can see that your CoLa data path is empty. Well, let's restart the session and see if those changes were made. Right now, CoLa R doesn't recognize those changes, but now that we maybe repeat the last line of code, now the CoLa data path is C CoLa, so all the results will be stored there. Let's move on. And now, in order to launch or execute CoLa, we need to run these two lines. The first one is